Okay, let's talk about creating surveys inside of Paperbell. You might know them as forms, or intake forms, or questionnaires. We call them surveys, and you can set those up inside of each package. You're looking for the surveys option on the left in the menu. Click on that, and here is where you can add surveys to send to your clients at specific times. Go ahead and click the Add button to get started. And the first step is to set the details like the trigger and the timing, which dictate when the client will be shown or sent this survey. By default, we set this to purchase and immediately. That's good for an intake form because then the survey will show up when the client is first purchasing the package. If you change these, that's going to change when the client gets the survey. For example, you can change the trigger to appointment and the timing to 3 days before if you wanted to survey a client in the run-up to one of their appointments. So the triggers are appointment, group session, purchase, and final appointment. Final appointment will send out the survey just after your final appointment, so that's a good way to collect feedback or maybe a testimonial from a client. We'll set the trigger to purchase, timing to immediately, and we'll create an intake form. So we'll give this the name intake form. Here's where I could write a description, maybe some guide on how to complete the survey, what you're looking for from the answers, how the answers will be used. And I can choose whether or not to require the questions to be answered. So if I turn this on, that means that a client won't be able to save the survey until they've answered all of the questions. So I'll go ahead and save that. And then step 2, down below, is to add the questions to the surveys. So if I click Add Question, you see how this works. The options here for the question type are long text, short text, drop down, select one, select many, or scale of 1 to 10. So if this is a question where I want someone to free type their answer, I can leave this at short text. And the question could be, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? If I add that question, it's added to the survey, shown here. And I can add another one by clicking the same button. Here, I'm going to give the client a number of options to pick from to give their answer. So the options here, you can do that, or drop down, where they'll see a drop down menu with the responses. Select one, where they'll see all the responses and be able to check just one of them. Select many shows all the responses. They can check as many as they like. Or I could ask them to score on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll pick the drop down option. And I'll say, what do you need help with most? And then you add the options below. So let's say accountability, measuring my progress, and so on. You can add as many different options as you like, and you can add as many questions to the survey as you would like. So I'll add this question, and you will see it show up in the list of questions. I can move these around if I want to reorder them by grabbing the little handle icon to the left of the question and moving the question up. And down below is where you will see the latest responses to your survey and a button to view all of the responses to this survey. Also, up top, there's an option to send the survey to a client, this button right here. That means in case someone skipped over the survey or didn't see it when they originally purchased, you can click this button, pick a specific client, and then send them an email with a link to click on and complete this survey. If I go back to all the surveys in the package, you'll also see another option here, this import button. So what that means is you could create the intake form inside of one package, as I just have done, and then head into another package, click import, and then copy over the intake form into that package. So that'll save you a bit of time. And this is how to create surveys for your clients to complete throughout their coaching journey.